So I'm packing for Aspen, and this is truly comical because I genuinely, it's a 4-day trip and I feel like I'm about to have the baggage of someone who's traveling for 2 weeks just by virtue of the fact that there's so much big winter travel. You carry boots, jackets, puffy coats, and if you want to serve looks, these things are going to add up and take up so much space. Case in point, this is my largest away luggage, and my moon boots take up pretty much half of one side of my largest luggage. My goal was to only have one large bag to check in and then my carry-on, but it's looking like I'm gonna need large, medium, and small. This is everything that I still have left to pack. And honestly, this is not the worst, but it's the fact that I have 2 jackets and like a cardigan that takes up a lot of space. And then even these accessories, that's what's making it like we're gonna have a lot to do here. So right now I just have on the base layers. So this is it's like a thermal base layer thing, and then the actual ski jacket I don't have on my ski suit. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, I'm probably, to save space, even though the base layers are the thinnest I could probably put, but I think I'm just gonna wear these base layers both days. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, that's my washer, because I'm running a night before laundry just so I have fresh PJs and all of that, freshly washed PJs. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, we're only going, so I arrive tomorrow and my airport outfit includes this jacket so that I don't like waste space. I arrive tomorrow, I'm wearing a Uniqlo top and bottom that's heat tech, so it's warm, but it's not really, I don't think it would be a good base layer because I'm pretty sure it's cotton and you're not supposed to wear cotton as a base layer because like it'll get wet and then it'll feel cold on your body. But I have this base layer and then I have this in cream or in white, but I specifically want to wear that with this monochrome like all white look that I have planned. And so I don't know if I would wear that under my ski suit and then take it off and then throw on the regular monochrome outfit, or if I would just save it entirely for that outfit and not even wear it when I go skiing. So honestly, I feel like one base layer for 2 days like is not the end of the world. I do want to show you what it looks like because it looks very cute actually. What? Who is she? Who is she? And this is what it's giving with this hat. I'm gonna come up closer. I don't know if it's gonna catch it on camera. But I'm obsessed with this hat. I've had it for a little while, but haven't worn it yet because I was like, I want to debut it in Aspen and then it can be my like winter glam girl hat, but it's also such a cute little Aspen hat too. And this is giving a vibe that I think I could get with. I actually really like this, so I'm pretty satisfied. This jacket was a last minute purchase, I have to say, because I did not feel like any of my jackets were ski jackets. And I didn't even realize I needed a ski jacket because last year my ski suit, when I went skiing like in New York, my ski suit was like a puffer whatever thing, so I didn't need a jacket on top of that. However, that wasn't a real ski suit. Like, and I feel like since I'm going to Aspen, like I need real ski stuff. Thankfully, this is a paid brand trip, so at least like I'm not just spending money for the sake of going on a trip. It's like I'm technically also making money. I'm really excited about this jacket and this hat and all of that. It's very much so giving Aspen girly. Black girls in Aspen, period. I am such a not good, I'm not gonna say bad vlogger, but there's room for improvement. You know, if you went to public school in New York, how there was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and one was like unsatisfactory and 2s were like needs improvement, I would give myself a 2 for in the class of vlogging. I'm already in Aspen, no transition clips, no airport clips, no hotel tour because I totally forgot, but I'll post that on TikTok most likely. I already posted it on my stories on Instagram. But I'm in Aspen, night 1 is already done, and I was like, let me at least say hi, and like we can get unready together. Honestly, this could probably be its own video on its own, so let's get unready together. Oh, I hope my little tripod don't start acting funny. Don't act funny. Don't act funny. I'm hearing little creaky sounds. I'm actually very tired at the moment, and that is because Colorado is 2 hours behind New York City, and that means my day, which started at 5 a.m. today because I got up at 5 a.m. I actually initially woke up at like 4:20 because on days that I have flights, I'm just super paranoid that I'm gonna oversleep. And so I don't really actually have a good night's sleep the night before flights, especially if it's a morning flight, or like only if it's a morning flight. So I woke up around 4:20 but didn't get out of bed until around like 5, and I worked out. And then I finalized whatever last minute things needed to go in my suitcases. I pretty much finished packing last night though, so it wasn't anything too major, and ended up cleaning my apartment like I like to do before I travel. And then even filmed a little review of a product that I posted on TikTok, and filmed an outfit check for the airport. So basically I was filming, I was cleaning, I was doing whatever. So it just dawned on me that I'm actually most likely not even gonna be able to film a full-blown vlog because I left my external hard drive in New York. So once this SD card gets full, I won't be able to offload it. And so all of this is to say, I'm still learning. In the world of vlogging, I'm still trying to find my rhythm and find what makes sense for me. I think I found something that is actually really going to help me, and that is a new camera, which is funny because like, girl, like the last thing you need to be doing if you're not consistent is getting new equipment. But hear me out, multiple levels. So part of the reason that I struggle with vlogging consistently, I don't even know if it's vlogging. Like, here's the thing. Like, I want to be able to vlog. Like, I admire vloggers. I admire people who can literally create cinematic stories out of their lives and take you along for whatever it is that they're doing. But I find that the best videos that I can create are just like videos when I'm at home, sit down talking videos, or videos where I'm just like going through my day at home, right? And the reason for that is I do not like the attention that vlogging brings. I'm a shy girl vlogger. I keep hearing sounds and I'm like, I don't want this camera to fall, because if it falls, it's gonna fall. I'm a shy girl vlogger, and that really has been a huge part of the hindrance. Another thing that I will say that I was thinking about even before I found what I'm about to say is my solution is I was feeling to myself like I haven't bought new equipment in a while. And the reason that that even matters is because I feel like there was a level of creativity that I would tap into. Like there was a level of excitement that always came with new equipment that like I would just be so excited to create. Like when I got my first DSLR camera, which is a Canon T3, I was like, ready and going outside getting photo shoots. When I upgraded to my Canon 80D, I was like so excited, getting presets, and like that was how I got my first, like that was basically the aesthetic that I created that I still stick with today, like the warm presets. And I started that once I got my Canon 80D, and then I upgraded to my Canon 5D Mark IV, and I was like the pictures, and then I got my 35 lens, and then I got my Sony ZV-1, and that was what got me excited to like vlog and to make short form content. And it has been, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 years since I last got some new piece of equipment that like normally just jump starts my excitement about creating. And the more I was thinking about it today, the more I was like, I want to go back to being excited about creating, and not just harping on particular numbers, and growth and all of those things, which like now it's inevitable, like I'm gonna care about those things, but like I also, in addition to caring about those things, just want to be excited about creating. And I came across someone's TikTok, and then I went down a rabbit hole of researching this camera that is the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. That is like a pretty small but mighty camera that really helps and encourages, because of its size, is like encourages people to vlog without it bringing much attention to themselves. Why is this mask leaving me like white? I'm gonna have to rub it in. And I just feel like it's perfect because like in addition to me wanting to vlog my everyday life, like I want to vlog my travels. Like I'm in Aspen right now and I want to like show you guys and take you along, but like I don't want to have to pack like my ZV-1, or I don't want to be the person that's like, hey guys, like, you know, and all of that stuff. So I'm quite literally most likely going to purchase that camera like as soon as I finish my skincare routine and talking to you guys. And I'm excited. Like it's been a while since I've been like, oh, I'm so excited. And obviously I say this with like caution that like new equipment is not going to solve all of your problems. But sometimes like if you are truly a creative, it can just jumpstart that creativity again. And I'm like, it's been a very long time since I've been like excited as I am about a piece of content. Cause like, I don't wanna be inconsistent. Like I genuinely, and I feel like I love talking to you. Like I love when we get to have these moments. I feel like on YouTube or with longer form content, like there just tends to be like a conversation that we can have that I don't really show on other platforms. Like I feel like Instagram stories is very like routine heavy, and as much as I try and like get into the like, oh, like let me, you know, be myself and show you guys, like stories are so small of a portion that in order for you to be your authentic self on stories, it's kind of a really heavy lift. By that I mean like it's so easy to just take a video and add text over it than it is to like film yourself on your regular back camera, cut down the clip, figure out which clip you want to cut down, and then like, if you're talking to the camera for a certain amount of time, like to piece that all together in a way that still honors aesthetics, honors your personalities, but then also honors your personality rather, but then also respects the time and respects the fact that Instagram stories is just one sliver of the platforms of the space that you occupy online. So Instagram stories, then Instagram feed, then TikTok, maybe TikTok stories if you're into that, then YouTube. For me personally, I also have a blog, which you should continue to check out. I've been blogging for like 5 going on 6 years now. So like all of those things, like, and you have to show up differently because there has to be a reason why people come to see it. Like I don't want to post the same things on each platform. So all of that is to say is I feel like you get something very unique when we get to chat and talk and catch up on YouTube. And so there is a genuine desire for me to be present on this platform and for me to be here that I'm still working through. And I think having a camera that is just easy for me to pick up and pull out and be like, I'm here and let's chat and let's talk will make a lot more sense. So I'm gonna get that camera and we're gonna hope for the best. Maybe we'll actually talk about the camera itself. I actually have a lot of equipment now that I think about it, but that would make sense because I've been doing this for a decent amount of time. 5 years is crazy, I'm not gonna lie to you. I remember when I was just starting out and comparing myself to other creators and being like, I wanna be where she is, like, how can I get there, da 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 da. And then I would have to remind myself like, oh, this girl just posted that it was her 10-year blogiversary. And you are just a year into this, like chill. So that's also just a reminder to you who's watching this. Like if you are even looking at me like, oh, I wanna get to where she is, da 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 da, like, it's been 5 years, 3 of which I spent in law school, which was a struggle. but we made it through and we're here now. And so just be mindful when you compare yourself to people if you're gonna compare yourself, not that you absolutely should not compare yourself, but if you're gonna compare yourself, I hope you are pulling out the full picture so that you are not too hard on yourself, because baby, once you start looking at the full picture, it's easier to give yourself a little bit of grace. Anyways, we had our welcome dinner tonight with Saint Germain or Saint Germain. Well, I don't even know, man. I'm not a French speaker. We had it tonight and it was actually really good. I didn't have a list of the other creators who would be here coming into it. So it was kind of just like, let's see the vibes. And honestly, the vibes are good. Conversation was flowing. I really like everyone. I think everyone is really cool and really nice. And there are people whose content, like, I knew one person here, but everyone else is like content there are people whose content that I had not really come across until now. And things like this always just remind me of how vast the internet is. And I say this all the time, or I think this rather all the time when we have conversations about like, why is there not a Black Alex Earl? Or like, why is this and that and the third? And I am gonna be honest with you, sometimes I realize or think like, do you realize that there are people on the internet who have millions of followers who you have no clue who they are? And vice versa, like there are people who you follow where you are one of their millions of followers, but there are people on the internet who have no clue who they are. Like that is how expansive and how wide the internet is, that like someone can have 4, 5, 6, 7 million followers and still not be known to someone. Like that is what it means to be on an internet or to be on an app where there are hundreds of millions of users. That if someone has 10 million followers, they still only have just a slice, just a small portion of what's on the internet. And so it's so interesting to me because like, I'll be like, oh, like clearly everyone on this trip is a creator, most likely full-time, most likely large in their own right, or has built a community that is substantial. And I never knew who they were and would have never known who they were it not for like this brand bringing us together. So that's just your reminder that the internet is big. There is space for you to build a community without it feeling like there's a particular competition or need for comparison. What I will say is interesting and that stands out to me about the dinner is that somehow, some way, there always ends up being discussion about dating. And I think like my mind is always just like racking. I don't even know if I use that term appropriately, but my mind is always just like so enamored by how much of a consistent, like it is that elusive like thing where people are desperately trying to get it right. And the reason that it keeps coming up is because we have maybe innate in us a desire for companionship, a desire to like love someone and be loved by someone romantically. And that is why, and with our generations, it feels like it has become more and more elusive to experience that. And so that's why it is always just such a like, let's talk about it. Are you single? Da, da, da. What's it like for you? This, that, and the third. Oh, I'm excited for you. Oh, this is a struggle. Oh, I can, like dating, we're just not going to be able to escape it as a dinner table topic, as a TikTok video virality topic, as all of those things, because like we are all genuinely trying to figure it out. And we are always going to be trying to figure it out. You're going to be trying to figure it out when you're single. You're gonna be trying to figure it out when you're in a serious relationship. You're gonna be trying to figure out being engaged, and you're going to try and figure out how to be and stay married. And maybe if you get divorced, you're gonna try and figure out how to manage the relationship with your ex or co-parenting. You're gonna try and figure out how to manage moving on and finding another relationship. Like it feels like you're always trying to figure that out in a way that like just remains prominent. And so I always just think it is so interesting how like without fail, you cannot escape this topic for better or for worse. Speaking of which, one thing that I will say in addition to like it constantly being a topic is I don't want to say I hate this, but I'm 28. I'm gonna be 29 in basically like 6 weeks. I want to say 7 weeks maybe. No, actually a little more than that. I'm speeding through it, but I'm gonna be 29 this year soon, in 2 months, which feels like such a big thing for me because again, like I don't feel like I'm 29. I don't feel like I'm almost 30. I don't feel like my mother is the mother of an almost 30-year-old. Like certain things I'm just like, if I'm 30, if I'm 29, let me not jump ahead to 30, but it's like, if I'm 29, what does that make my mom? Like, if I'm 29, what does that make, you know, like what? And one of the things that I will say is like, just the level of maturity. Like I feel 29 in the sense of the maturity and growth that I feel like I've experienced. I feel 29 in the sense of the things that I will tolerate and don't tolerate. And I think sometimes it's hard to feel or see the tangible differences, but like when on a day-to-day basis, but when I look back at like 24-year-old me, 23-year-old me, like, okay, like I probably feel more 28 and 29 than I do 24, 23. And a part of that growth has been not accepting certain things, no matter how much it pains me to not accept them, to not accept them. And like, it kind of sucks because ignorance was truly bliss. And like, especially in the world of dating, like it has become like, I'll say it this way. I love that I am able to guard my heart and not give it away so freely and act in a way that protects myself and that is rational and realistic and optimistic while also being cautious. I love that because in the past, when I was younger, I might have created some fantasy. I might have, created some notion in my head about whether the person in front of me at the time was the person that I was going to be in a relationship with or end up with, etc. And now I feel like I'm very much so like, this is what I want. This is how much of what I want this person gives me. That is not acceptable. I'm not willing to settle for that. I do not want that. And I know better. And I know I cannot continue this conversation, and I know I cannot continue talking to this person or seeing this person or dating this person because they are not giving me nearly what they are not giving me what I want, and I do not have the time or the energy, and mainly the time, to be entertaining someone who is not going to give me and not going to be what I want. And as much as I love that for me, I'm just like, dang, man, like, when you stand on business, I'm not gonna say it could be lonely because I'm not lonely, but like, you spend a lot of time alone. When you stand on business, be prepared to stand alone. Because I'm just like, dang, like back in the day, like I'm talking to someone right now that I like actually really like. It might have taken me, this time last year actually, I was just like going with the flow, and not even going with the flow, but like I was just like not quick to realize like, oh, change of communication is usually a sign of something. Like if there was a cadence, if there was a flow, and it doesn't mean that there's like a frequency, like high frequency is not to be confused with cadence. There's a level of cadence that communication has taken, and that is the repertoire that you build, and suddenly it kind of shifts or changes. Last year, I was like, what's going on? Like, is this person okay? Like, da-da-da-da. This year, I'm like, yeah, you've changed behavior. I'm not gonna put myself in a position that leaves me like open to getting hurt. I know what this means. 99% of the time, I need to step back. I need to pull back for my sake. And if not for my sake, because this person is not giving me the level of consistency that I would hope that they would give me, which is continuing with the level of communication that they started with. This is growth because you're nipping it in the bud and you're just like, I know the signs, I'm making an observation, I'm drawing a conclusion from that observation, and I know how to act on that conclusion. But dang, it sucks. I'm like, dang, this is what maturity feels like. Like this is what this is what it feels like. And the same applies for friendships. The same applies for business relationships. Like, it all applies. And I'm just like, dang, that's kind of what a lot of my late 20s has felt like. Like, just like being older, getting a little bit more wiser, not making the same mistakes multiple times, but then realizing like, it's not fun. It's not fun, but it'll pay off in the long run. I feel like I've been rambling, and I feel like I'm gonna make this its own video because like we've done a full-blown chit chat and that should be enough. So hopefully I'll post my full Aspen vlog on like TikTok and things like that and give you a recap that way. But I honestly just appreciate us chit-chatting in this way. And so hopefully this is sufficient enough for a YouTube video because I'm gonna do the best I can with what I got. But thank you so much for watching. I feel like that was an abrupt transition, but I don't know, let's pick up next time. Let's talk about other stuff next time. Who knows what? Who knows where the spirit will lead me? But thank you so much for watching. Good morning, good evening, and good night. Bye.